Alright guys, welcome back. It's just Joshua and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my preferred M4 loadout. This M4 is going to be specifically designed for pretty much long range, mid to long. Can be used to hip fire, but it is not a run and gun setup. I primarily use this for being kind of the Overwatch in most of the war zones, or kind of solos. I like to take the more mid to long range approach rather than the close range. I do a lot better that way personally, so that's kind of what I designed this loadout for. If that's your type of loadout, this video is for you. If you're looking for something more close quarters, I'll have both a Growl and an M13 video out very shortly. Those will be much more suited to close to mid in just mid-range combat. Also very good for hip firing. So if that's what you're looking for, stay tuned for one of those videos. If you're looking for mid to long, we'll get right into it. So my M4 loadout is actually my very first loadout. I'll start with the gun. Actually, you know what? I'll start with everything else besides the gun and then go into the attachments and why I picked them. So the Javelin, or the Joker in this one, are actually my favorite launcher. They are non-free fire, which is unfortunate. However, almost no matter what you shoot at, as long as you can get a lock on and a rocket up in the air, it will blow up whatever you're shooting at. And most people look for rockets chasing them, not rockets coming down from the top of the sky. So they will not bail out of their thing, and I constantly get squad wipes and kills and solos with this thing. It's nice just being able to lock onto things and almost guaranteeing a kill. It's also really good for plunder and grabbing all the money. This is absolutely the secondary I always pick. You can go into the perks and pick Overkill, which allows you to take a secondary, a primary as a secondary, I should say. A lot of people go with a decked out sniper rifle with that, but I definitely think Ghost is essential. I will personally not get rid of my Ghost. The only time I would get rid of my Ghost is Point Man for plunder, and we did discover that this does not stack. So if all three people run it, it does not, you don't get 3 times the thing, you only get registered 1. So I run Ghost, Cold-Blooded, and Tune-Up. Cold-Blooded is essential. This makes sure you don't get attacked by any of those attack helicopters. Also you're not visible by thermals, stuff like that. So Cold-Blooded, in my opinion, for Battle Royale or Plunder, any of the, above is the one you want to go with. And then Tune-Up, I personally go with, reduce revive time and the field upgrades by 40%. The field upgrades one is huge. That's personally why I use this, and the revive time is just a bonus. Some people pick Amped or Battle Hardened, and some people like Tracker if you're a running gunner, but I go Tune-Up. Proximity mines, they're pretty self-explanatory. I just throw them on the ground, let people funnel to the staircase, and then we go from there. So some people like C4. C4 is great for sticking to vehicles. You could stick it to the side of a helicopter and wait for a squad to run into it, and then blow it up as they're all in it and get all the kills. That's also a really good time. But that's, that's pretty much it. These things down here are all preferences. I stick with the flash grenade. Some people like the smoke or the decoy for throwing one direction and flanking the opposite direction. That's just all personal preference, so I can't really tell you what to pick there. But as far as the gun goes, the M4 has always been one of my favorite guns in every game. So this is what we run when we're pretty much maxed out. I think I got the monolithic at like 63. So sorry for that party invite. That'll go away here in a second. I get the monolithic is the muzzle that you want to use all the time. You get a suppressor, and it actually increases damage range and accuracy. This does slow down your walking and your aim down sight. So once again, like I said, this is going to be a strictly a long or a mid-range, gun that you're not using this for running gun. With that being said, we're going with this stock M16. It's going to have damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control built into the laser. Once again, movement speed and aim down sight are, the cons. The monocle reflex. I choose this one. If you can do the iron sights, if you like the iron sights and you're good with them, pick them, because then you'll run stippled grip tape. If you do not like the iron sights, I highly suggest the monocle reflex. The monocle reflex actually makes it so the recoil the gun does have actually doesn't show nearly as much through the sight. So even though your gun is technically recoiling, the monocle reflex shows that it's not recoiling. The underbarrel. So the underbarrel is a huge personal preference thing. Some people like, running the grenade launchers and stuff like that. I personally go with the Ranger foregrip. The Ranger foregrip builds into it being a laser. It does, however, once again, knock down the walking movement speed and the aim down sight. Some people like going with the Merc foregrip, which does the same thing but a little less. It's a little more balanced. Or the Commando, which just slows down your movement speed, but it doesn't have as many cons as the other, but it's also not as strong in a lot of categories. So I personally go with the Ranger because it just goes into my build to build it like a laser. This thing has no recoil whatsoever. 60 round mags I go with. If you want a faster fire rate and a faster time to kill, you can actually run these. It just won't be as long as a distance, and obviously your mag won't be as long. I use the 60 rounds just because I prefer to be able to wipe entire squads without having to reload. Or in solos, if you get in a situation where you're about to get third party, you can turn on, 2 to 3 other people and kill them as well without actually having to reload, which is it's life or death essentially. Here's the stippled grip tape. This is the one I recommend if you're not going to run a sight. This will make your gun far more accurate, but I prefer having a sight over the little bit of accuracy and stuff that you get from that. Now, perks are... I don't run them. Some people like them. Some people like starting with max ammo, for example. Some people like the sleight of hand, quicker reloads, more kills, whatever your logic is. Some people like the FMJ for shooting down score streaks, attack helicopters and plunder, or whatever else, and or just shooting through walls. It's some people really like FMJ, so they'll switch out the grip tape. But that's only the real ones I would use here. I mean, if you're really worried about your experience, you can run the Mo Money, but I really wouldn't worry about that. Stocks, I personally don't like them. I would run no stock if I was doing a run and gun setup. Actually, I think I have a I clicked the wrong button. My running gun M4 actually does run, no stock. This is my hardcore cyber attack build. I'm not going to go too far into this, but you can see I run a lot of the same things. I run the GI, no stock, and the Merc foregrip. This is for multiplayer. This is a little bit more on the running gun side, but not fully on the running gun side. And if you are interested in making a full run and gun M4, I'll go through real quick and build one from scratch, just so you can kind of have an idea. I don't suggest the M4 for running and gunning. There are much better options, but if you are partial to the M4 and you want a run and gun scenario, I would still run monolithic. For the barrel, I'd probably run the Commando, or yeah, I'd run Commando. Laser, it's really your preference here. If you're a running gunner that hip fires, I'd run the 5 all day. If not, I'd pick something else. Optics, if you're hip firing, obviously you don't need an optic. Stock, I would go no stock all day. Now, underbarrel is really debatable, and that's going to depend on your other perks. So that's going to depend if you're doing run and gun. In like multiplayer or solos, I would honestly pick the 9mm round mags. All day. They're a faster time to kill, much faster fire rate. I would run these all day if you're not worried about wiping squads in Battle Royale with the 60. So we'll pick that just for this. Um, this I would run stippled. So the rest of it really just comes down to what you're gonna do. Now, if you're not worried about the monolithic suppressor, I would actually take that off. If you're going full straight running gun, I would run the barrel commando, no stock, the 32 round mag, stippled grip tape, but then I would also throw on sleight of hand so you could reload your short 32 round mags faster. This would be my submachine gun M4 build. As you can see, it pretty much looks like a submachine gun, and that's about it. For running gunning, I'm not really going to get into perks or secondaries or any of that because that's all just personal preference. I'm only going to get into that for the battle royales. But that's my battle royale setup, and I always start with dead silence just to throw that out there. Some people go stopping power and other things. I always go dead silence just because it allows me to flank people easier and loot faster. Well, that's all for now. Make sure you subscribe to my Twitch. My channel too is much appreciated. We're coming up on 1,000 followers, and I appreciate you guys so much. And stay tuned for my next videos. I'm going to be doing a lot more Warzone videos. If there's anything you want to see or anything you have questions for, something you don't understand, something you need help with, whatever, just drop a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you, and take care.